Let's dive into the 3 areas that you need to purge in order to open up a new era in your business and really in your life. My name is Phelan Crandall, co-founder of ScaleNaturally.com. Super excited that you're here because in this video, I'm going to be sharing something that I found to be really profound throughout the course of my business. I've had my business 15 years to this point, and what I'm sharing here has had a huge impact throughout those years. And really the foundational concept we're looking at is that if you're holding on to something that no longer serves you, it's keeping you tied in an old era, in an old energy, in an old paradigm, in old situations that you have outgrown, that you deserve to be free from and move beyond. And it stops you from being able to move into the new era that is calling you, that life is wanting you to step into in your business and in your life. So there are 3 areas. We're going to dive into those super quickly here. And then we're going to talk about why purging in these 3 areas is so important. So the first area is people. People. So when you look around at the people in your life and the relationships and the relationship dynamics, the question is, what are you tolerating that is actually not okay with you? What is undermining you, your confidence, your ability to move forward? Perhaps it's a person or people, or perhaps it's behaviors from a person that you're tolerating. So that's the first category we're looking at, and I invite you to explore and reflect on. The second is you. What do you need to purge in you? Meaning, if you look at yourself, how do you show up in your personal life? How do you show up in your business that you know is not helping you move forward into a new reality? You know is tying you into the old, worn out, been there, done that, but I'm just keeping it going. What are you doing? How are you showing up? What habits do you have? What actions are you taking that is keeping you in this old era that you're wanting to move beyond? What I mean by old era is really, you want to be done with it. You don't want your life to look this certain way. At this exact moment of recording this, we have just begun a new decade. We've just ended an old decade, and we're just beginning a new year. We've ended an old year. So it's a powerful time to reflect, to be like, hey, that's what happened. That's what was. What do I want to be here? And you can use this anytime. It's not just at the new year kind of thing. So that's you taking a look at you, an honest look of how have you been showing up in your business and in your life. And the third is time. So how do you spend your time? Time is our most precious resource. And if you look at the way you've been spending your time, has it been effective? Has it been moving you towards the new things you want to create? Or has it been depleting your resources, your energy, and being wasted? Are you spending too much time doing things that don't give any benefit or any contribution to your well-being? Are you wasting time with people or in situations that are not bringing you forward? So these are the 3 areas. And what I invite you to consider is when you look at these 3 areas and how you're operating, how you're using your time, how you're showing up in your personal life and in your business, and the people that you allow in your life, what message are you giving the universe by having what you have right now? And so what I invite you to consider is that what you are holding on to in these 3 areas that's no longer serving you is giving the universe a very clear message. It's giving the very clear message on what you believe you deserve. So for example, if you tolerate abuse or disrespect, or just someone undermining your confidence, for example, or someone not wanting the best for you, what message does that send the universe? And what is that then inviting into your life to have more of? Number 2, the second very clear message that you are giving out to the universe when you look at these 3 areas is, what are your expectations? So for example, many people have big dreams and big visions for what they want to create. However, how they show up in their business might demonstrate the very opposite. So they expect to have a lot of success, but then when they show up to work, they're not really taking the actions that would even create it. See what I mean? So our actions, our habits, our behaviors, how we show up demonstrates our expectations. That's number 2. And number 3, especially as it links to time, you send a very clear message to the universe when you decide how you spend your time. You're sending a very clear message to the universe on what your priorities are. For example, how you spend your time, is it driven by others' priorities or is it driven by your priorities, right? Big questions. So with this, there's the old. So we've looked at the old, and you might want to do some journaling. I've got another resource to help you with this, with more prompt questions to prompt you. With this, when you look at the old, I invite you to consider that the old and what you allow in your life, what you tolerate, how you show up, how you use your time, the priorities you're demonstrating are really your priorities by these 3 areas, is essentially showing the current energetic blueprint of your business, of your life. That makes sense? So how you choose to spend your time there's an energy to that. And it's likely that you're going to keep doing that unless you make a change. That's why we're looking at what can you purge? What can you let go of as far as how you use your time and in your schedule? And what can you replace it by? So this old energetic blueprint is creating the reality that you have. So how can we create something new? And what is the new blueprint? What does that look like in order to really let go of the old and end an era and start a new era in your business and in your life? Okay, so here's where we want to look at, okay, this is the old, and when you really sit with it, you can feel it. It's like, if I keep this going, it's going to keep happening. And if we don't let go of what no longer serves us, it's stagnant. It's like holding on to an old jacket that you've had for eons, but it doesn't feel like you anymore. It's the wrong color or it's worn out. And it's just taking up space and it doesn't feel good. Versus getting rid of it. Okay, now there's space. Now new can come in. If you let go of certain people in your life, not that you have to let go of people, you can change. You can say, this is no longer tolerable to me, for example, like you treating me like this or crossing my boundaries or whatever it is. But when you let go of that reality, the energy that perhaps ties you to the past and old things that you've experienced, when you let go of that, it opens up new space where new life can come in. So let's look at the new that you want to bring in, this new energetic blueprint. So the question here is, what message do you want to send to the universe as far as what this new era is going to entail for you and what you'd like to call in and bring in and how you'd like your life to be, okay? So what would you like in its place? So number 1, people. What is a single new standard that you can set for the people in your life? So an example for this, for me, it's people who are emotionally healthy, who take responsibility for themselves, for their life, for their issues, and who are empowered. So emotionally healthy is my top standard. If someone's not emotionally healthy, they're going to be at a distance in my life or they're going to be gone. Think of what it is for you. 2, your habits. How do you take care of yourself? Do you take care of yourself? Your well-being, how do you show up? And what are some new habits and rituals you can bring in that will really serve you? So for example, personally, I start my days with inspiration every single day because, well, except the weekends, that might be different, but my work days, I start with inspiration because I know that I'm going to feel my best, I'm going to be my best, and that's like medicine for me. And I start my days alone, by myself to do that. Another example might be exercise. And I'm not a fan of pushing yourself to do things that don't feel good. So what does it look like to have the kind of exercise or whatever it is that you feel is going to help you increase your energy? Or business, what is the new standard? What is the new habit or ritual that you're going to commit to create this new era? So an example for me is I've got a ton of wisdom. I've been in business 15 years and I've never stopped analyzing all the different aspects of it and helping people with business. However, I've kept a lot of that gold to myself. So my commitment in my new era is sharing my message, sharing messages that can benefit, which is why I'm doing this video. This is the first one that I've done since I've set this new standard and since I've committed to this. Okay, so 3, time. So consider in the new, what Boundaries might you put in place around your time. Perhaps you end up talking on the phone to friends for hours and you don't, which is prioritizing other people's well-being versus yours. And perhaps there needs to be a boundary around your time, around your creative time, around your focus time, around your work day, around your breaks, right? How do you prioritize your time? How do you show a new priority? How do you spend your time? What does your schedule look like? So an example for this that I've really embraced this year is having clear work times and clear break times. And that to me makes a huge, huge difference. And also to, as an example that ties to the second one, for me, sharing my message is really important this year, but I'm not just gonna say, oh, sharing my message is important and expect it to magically manifest. I have carved out Wednesdays. Wednesdays is my creativity for the sharing my message and creating content and sharing content. So that's an example. So with this, I invite you to consider, because there's endless things you can do, but what are you going to commit to that is as simple as possible that's going to help you let go? What do you commit to letting go of? What do you commit to moving into? What are the game changers for you as far as what you can let go of and what you can commit to? I would love to hear it, and you can comment below. And also, when I talk about commitment, I mean doing whatever it takes. So for example, if you're letting go, if you want to let go of toxic people in your life, it's important to do whatever it takes to heal, face, deal with, process whatever internally had you allow those people in your life in the first place, right? So whatever it takes. This isn't just some dreamy thing. Like, what are you going to commit to in the new? And whatever you need to do to get there, I invite you to consider committing to that. Okay, so I'd love to hear any thoughts or insights that have come through this video. You can go ahead and comment below. I invite you to like this video, share it, please share it if you feel like this has been beneficial to you and someone else can benefit. And also, there's a link in the section below where I have more questions. There's a link to an article that I wrote that has more questions to help you sit with this and reflect and see what really you need to let go of and what really you want to be creating, so you can spend some time with that. So go ahead and check that out below. Yes, thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing if you do so, and commenting below. I'll see you in the next video.